This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so in the previous session, we were discussing about the business structure. We created the business issue, which is nothing but the reason for promotion. We created the business group, which is the category of promotion. Then we created the propositions. We have seen how to create propositions manually and also how to create propositions by importing the Excel file. So this is what we have seen in the last session. So let us go to the Dev Studio. We have also seen how to create properties. The properties are nothing but the characteristics of our propositions. So in order to create the business structure, go to configure decisioning, decisions, proposition management, hierarchy. We have also seen the difference between versioned propositions and unversioned propositions. Okay, so that's what we have seen yesterday. Business issue, business group, propositions, properties, all these things. So yesterday what we have done, right? We have actually created some fields, and those fields we have added in our decision data. That means like discounted price, original price, low EMI credit cards. What is the EMI? What is the credit card name? These kind of fields that we have seen yesterday. So let us say, for example, whatever the fields that you have a requirement where you need to create a drop down. Okay, so what you will do then? For example, let us say in the credit cards, I want to provide some options, something like what is the marital state of customer, whether he is married or single or divorced, like that. Similarly, what is the city of the customer? How do you do that? If you create a field, we cannot do that, right? Yeah, someone is talking. Well, okay. So there are two ways of adding the properties. So let us see what are those and how do we do that. Yesterday, what we have done, we have added the fields under this form tab. Under this form tab, we have added the fields here. So that's what we have done, right? So let me show you once again. Add field. I will call it as credit card name. Okay, I'll call it as credit card name. But whenever I create a field like this, it's going to create only a scalar values, right? It's going to create only scalar values, that is single value properties, without any control options like drop downs, radio buttons, check boxes. How do you give all those things? For that reason, we have another option that's called custom form. There are two ways that you can add fields to the decision data. One is by using generated form. Second is by using custom form. Whatever the fields that we have added yesterday, all those are present under generated form. So if you see here, I'm just adding this field here and this will be populated, right? That's what we have done. If I have to create something like a drop downs, radio buttons, check boxes, something like that, then I cannot do that in the generated form. The generated form will only give me limited controls with limited data types. So let us see how to do custom form. So this is the generated form. Now what I will do is I will say use custom form. So whenever we create a custom form for decision data, what happens is it is going to create a section that is called py edit element. Py edit element is the section which will render custom information on the decision data. So I'll just click on this customize form and just notice the name of the section. Notice the name of the section. So you see here, what is the section name? The section name is py edit element, and this particular section is circumstanced. That means for every single issue and group, it will create a separate circumstance of the same section. So this particular py edit element main purpose is it will allow you to configure custom attributes and custom controls on the screen. That is what it will do. Okay, so the py edit element is the name for all the issues and all the groups, but depending on the group that you select, it will create a circumstance for that. So if you just click on circumstance, you can see the circumstance value equal to credit cards, right? Let us say you are creating custom form for debit cards, then the circumstance value will be debit cards, but the section name will always be py edit element only. So just you need to remember the name of the section, which is called py edit element. So now I am converting it to full section editor. Now I can start adding custom controls onto the decision data. So let me add some drop down. Let us say so I will just create some two to three fields here. Okay, so let us call it um, applicable city. Okay, let us call it applicable city. That means this particular credit card offer is applicable to which city. That is the meaning of this. So I'll just keep it like this, and I will just provide some options. Then save it. So now similarly, let us add one more field, and so I will just save as this. I will give the name of the field as, let's say, marital status, and create. Now let's give it as and save it. Okay, so I'm just saving it. Similarly, I will create just one more property, and let us call it as Okay, so let us call it as checkbox. Okay, so I will give it as checkbox. So I'm just giving this one. So that means I'm just checking whether this particular offer is applicable to non-working people. So that's what I'm doing here. Now give the Boolean value since it is a checkbox, and okay, so I'm just giving this one submit, and we will just add the drop down that we created before, and just give the marital status. Applicable and submit. Okay, so just save it now, and what I will do, I'll just check in this section. So this section is always same, so please remember it. Depending on the group that you select, the circumstance value will be changing, but the name of the section is py edit element, which is used for creating custom decision data attributes. So I'll just say added custom controls. Then I will save it. Now go back to the decision data. Okay, and here just you open any proposition. Now notice that whatever the properties that we added, right, they will be coming in the list here. Okay, whatever the properties that you add, they will be coming in the list here like this. So even though you add any properties in the generated form, right now the decision data is using a custom form, which means instead of using the properties that are specified in the generated form that is here, it is using the properties that are present in the custom form, which is called py edit element. It is using whatever the properties that you keep in the py edit element. So since you can notice here, I have added this property credit card name, but still this particular decision data is not displaying credit card name here, right? It's not displaying the credit card name. It is only displaying the three fields that we added in the decision data. So that is how the custom form works. Okay, now we can select the appropriate values for each and every offer. Let's say, is this offer eligible for non-working customers? I'm selecting yes, then save it, and I'll just open the second proposition. Let's say this is applicable for Bangalore and not applicable for non-working people. So then I select this Chennai. Let us say this offer is applicable for non-working customers also. And finally, rewards card. Let's say select Hyderabad, and this offer is applicable for non-working customers also. Okay, so this is how you can provide the characteristics of an offer using two ways, either by using the generated form or by using the custom form. When you say custom form, you can create lot of additional attributes which will make it easy for you, like drop downs, checkboxes, radio buttons, multi-select, and you can add images also, like lot of things you can add it. Okay, so all of them are present under this SR class context only, so which we have seen yesterday, which is same like your class group, same kind of structure will be there. Application ID dash SR dash business issue dash business group. That is how it will be created. Same like your class inheritance. If you want a particular property to be used in credit cards group, you will create in credit cards SR class. If you want to use the property in credit cards as well as debit cards, then you can create the property under sales. Let's say if you want to use a property in sales and retention, then you can create it SR level. Okay, you can create it SR level. That means you can just simply add the property here, which means it is going to create it under SR level. All these are created at SR level. Okay, is it clear, the custom form, PY edit element? Yes, no. Guys, just try to respond to things. Okay, just say yes or no so that I can understand.
Yeah.
If you understood.
Maybe can you quickly recap this one more time?
Yeah. Okay. So as part of our proposition, that means as part of sending offers to the customers, what we are doing is we are creating our propositions first. We are creating the properties first. But whenever you create a property under generated form, there is no option to provide any advanced controls. Advanced controls like drop downs, checkboxes, radio buttons, multi-select, autocomplete. How can you do that when you add a property here? Whenever you add a property here, it will simply come like a text input. So when you add a field here and you create the property, it comes like a text input. Now, your requirement is to select from list of cities, right? Because a particular offer, every time you don't know what is the city name. You don't know what is the city name. Then how will you select that particular city name? So let us say you want to give an option to provide a drop down where you can select from the list of options. It is not possible to create a drop down when you add the field here. So in that scenario, we need to use a custom form. By using a custom form, Pega is going to generate a section that is called PY edit element, so that in that section you can keep all the controls like drop downs, checkboxes, radio buttons. You can keep a phone number, URL, all these things. But we cannot do the same thing. We cannot achieve the same thing by adding the fields to here in the generated form. Adding the fields to the generated form will not give any advanced controls that will give an option to specify from the list of options. Hence, we can use the custom form to give a better way to provide the data to the propositions, like which cities it is applicable, which type of customers it is applicable. Like this, we can do that only in the PY edit element section, which is nothing but the custom form that allows you to give advanced controls where the agent can easily select from the list of options, so that you can he can open this, and since you had a drop down and all that, he can select it. Okay, is it understood now?
Or yes, now it's clear.
Okay. Now what we will do, we will just create a strategy and try to understand some basic logic. How do we make use of this particular propositions? So we have created business issue, we have created business group, we have created the properties, we have created the propositions, we have imported the propositions. Now what we will do is we will see how do we use this propositions in a strategy. So let us do that. I will go to the CDH portal, customer decision hub, and what I will do is I will go to the strategies. Okay, in order to in order to create strategies, there are two ways. So again, as I told you in the first session itself, within the Dev Studio, you can create all the decisioning related rules. In the Dev Studio, if you want to create the strategies, we can do that under decision category. If you go to the Records Explorer, decision category, this is where you can create strategy. Within the customer decision hub, we can create the strategy from intelligence strategies. So let's see creating here and try to understand how the strategy works and how do we configure some basic components in the strategy. Click on create and click on start with new canvas. Whatever the component that's displayed on the strategy, we call it as strategy canvas. So I'll just say the name as first strategy demo. I'll just say. Now here we need to select the strategy results class. What is mean by this is, let us say for example, your strategy will give output only within sales and credit cards, then you need to select like this. That means the offers that come from the strategy are present in only this group, then you can select sales and credit cards if you want to restrict that way. If you don't want to restrict your offers, let us say you don't want to restrict to credit cards, then you can say none. Let us say you are getting the offers from multiple issues and multiple groups, then you can keep it as none. So this option is whether do you want to restrict the strategy results to a single issue and single group, or whether you want to get the results from multiple issues and multiple groups. Let's say I select sales and credit cards and I will show you then what happens if you do this. Now let us keep it the same class for now. I will tell you what is the purpose of that class later, and just leave this as it is and create and open. Now while creating the strategy, I selected the business issue sales and group as credit cards. What does that do means, let us say I want to import my propositions, then we have a component that is called import proposition data, and you just need to select here. And when you double click on this, notice that the business issue and business group got disabled. The business issue and business group got disabled because we have restricted the strategy results to be coming only from this issue and this group. That's the reason the offers will be restricted only to this. You cannot select a different issue and different group, and you cannot import the propositions. Let us say I don't give any restriction, and let us try to see what happens then. So let's say I just select none, and I select none, and let's say I just create and open. And now if you just try to double click on the proposition data, notice that I'm able to select multiple issues and multiple groups. Let's say I select this, and you can see I'm getting import all, and similarly I can select retention also, right? I can select summer sales, I can select sales, all these things. That means I'm not restricting the strategy to a specific issue and specific group. That is the meaning of that. Let us say if you are creating the strategy for that includes multiple issues and multiple groups, then you need to keep it as none. If your strategy is specific to sales and credit cards, then you can select this option. Okay, while creating, you can select this option. If your strategy is not specific to this particular issue and this particular group, then you don't need to select this option, and you can just keep it as none, and you can create the strategy. Okay, is it understood?
Yes.
So this is my strategy canvas. This is my strategy canvas. Strategy canvas means the area where you create the strategy components. This is where you create the strategy components. The strategy execution happens from left to right. That means it starts from here and it will go to the results. So in order to generate the results, you need to connect all the components. So we can connect the proposition data to the results tab. Whenever you do this connection, whatever the output that comes from proposition data, it goes to results. Now let us run it and see what output we get. I'll just save it. So we will see some basic components today, and then once we learn some concepts, then we will go for advanced strategy components. There are two ways of adding components to the strategy canvas. One way is by clicking on the plus button and selecting a particular component and adding that to the canvas. The second way of adding the component is by right click. Okay, by right click, and you can add it from here. Okay, you can just right click here. You can select the category and select the component. That is another way of adding. Like you can just select this and I just click on the canvas. That's how I add it. So these are the two ways how to add components to the strategy. Now we can run the strategy by selecting this particular toggle panel on the right side. This is called as toggle. This is called as side panel. Okay, this is called as side panel. By toggling this side panel, you can be executing this strategy. There are two ways to execute the strategy. One is by using a single customer. Second is by using multiple customers. Single case means single customer. Batch means multiple customers. We will see the batch concept in the coming sessions and also the single case in the coming sessions. For now, I just select save and run. This is how you test a strategy standalone. Okay, in order to test a strategy standalone, you need to click on the save and run button. Notice that I got 4 offers in the results. So if you just see here in the proposition data, you can see there are 4 offers are there: rewards card, rewards plus card, premier rewards card, and standard card. The same 4 offers are coming in the results of my strategy. Okay, the same 4 offers are coming in the results of my strategy. Now notice that the properties which we added in the custom form, they are not coming in the results, right? They are not coming in the results. So like we have added 3 properties, right? Like marital status, applicable city, is non-working eligible, like that's property we added. These 3 properties we added in the section, but those properties are not coming in the results. In order to do that, we need to make sure that one thing should be applied. What is that? Let us see. So whatever the properties that you create in the py edit element, those properties should be added under credit card, under the form tab. Okay, that's what you need to do. Whatever the properties that you create in the section, all those properties should be added in the form tab. That is, in the generated form list, you need to add it here in the list of properties. Because a strategy or any component that uses this decision data, it will always look for the properties that are present in this list. If it is not present in this list, then it will not consider that property. So very important. So if you create a custom form, just don't leave it like that. You need to add the fields that you created in the section. Same here also. That is what you need to remember. So I will just select the three properties. The three properties are applicable city, that is one. Okay, applicable city. The second one is marital status. Okay, second one is marital status. Then we added one more, that is non-working employee eligible, something we added. Is non-working, what is that field name?
Something like non-employment.
Yeah, let me copy that. Yeah, non-employee applicable. So this is the property that is we added. So just select this and that's it. So now we have added these fields under the form tab. Now let us see whether they can be available under the results or not. So I'll just give the comment as added the custom fields under form tab. Now let us go back to the strategy. You can click on this button, back to CDH. Then refresh. Select the strategy that you created, which is first strategy demo, and run it again. Now just scroll down and check whether the properties are coming or not. So you can see here the applicable city, Hyderabad, it is coming, right? Similarly, the marital status, married, non-employee applicable, true. So this way, if you want to get custom properties in the strategy results, you need to make sure that they are added in the form tab. Okay. Definitely they should be present in the form tab, then only you will be getting it in the strategy results. Any questions on this, or is it clear? Is it understood or is it clear?
Yeah, it's clear.
Yeah. So just try to remember this. Whenever you don't see the custom properties, make sure within the decision data whether the property is added in the form tab or not. So I'll tell you what is decision data, but just don't worry about that. Now, we did not perform any strategy logic. What we have done is we have just simply imported the offers and we have sent it to the results. Now let us try to add some logic to this strategy. So what I will do, I will add a filter, which is nothing but the filter component is used to filter the source component. Okay, source component means whatever the component from where the input is coming for this, that is nothing but the source component. That means for filter, the source component is what? Proposition data. But for proposition data, there is no source component. You can see the list of source components under the source component tab. This tab will be there in every single component. If there are multiple incoming components, you will see multiple names here. And you can see for proposition data, there is no source component. Nothing is there. Now let us add the condition. By using the filter, we can filter out some results that are coming from the incoming, that is incoming source component. So what I will say, I'll just say dot non-employee applicable, let's say equal to true. And I can give a name for this component. Okay, I can give a name for this component. I'll say filter only filter offers for non-working people, non-working customers. Okay, I'm just saying filter offers for non-working customers. You can see the name will be displayed like this. Similarly, you can give a name for this also. It is a good practice. I'll just say import credit card offers. Okay, and submit. Now you can see the condition that I have given is filter offers for non-working customers. You can also give a description. The description will be displayed below the component. Select this one and let's say I'll just say select only offers for, I'll just say select offers for both non-working and working customers. And right now it's not displaying. It should come. Yeah, anyway, that doesn't matter. Okay, the description doesn't matter. You will not use it for any functionality or anything, just for our understanding purpose. And also the name of the component, don't keep it like too many sentences. Okay, just keep it like one or two or more words, that, but not like some paragraph. Don't create like that. Now let us save and run and see what data we get. I'll just say save and run. So when you scroll down, as expected, there are only 3 propositions which are having non-working equal to true. So now if you scroll down, you can see this non-employee applicable equal to true. Go to the second offer, which is rewards plus card, and you can see the output here. That is again, where is that? Yeah, non-employee applicable equal to true. And if you see the third one, that is standard card, this offer is also having non-applicable equal to true. So whichever are having non-employee applicable, that means the offer is applicable for employees and non-employees also. Those kind of offers I am filtering. By using the filter, you can just simply give the condition here. You can also make use of any functions and you can try to filter out the results. Okay, you can try to filter out the results based on the condition. That is what this particular filter will do. Okay. Now You can also add annotations to the strategy. By using annotations, you can provide some description to the strategy logic that you do. So if you can also, there are two types of modes where you can navigate through the strategy. One is by using the select mode. That means you can just select the components like this. Second is pan mode. When you select pan mode, you can move the strategy up and down, left and right, because in runtime, in real time, you might have 20-30 components also. Okay, you can have 20-30 components also. Then it will be out of the screen. Okay, then it will be out of the screen. If you want to move flexibly, then you can just use this mouse and you can move wherever you want, you can move it. Okay, just like a process flow, you also have a mini map. By using the mini map, you can control the components that are displaying on the screen, and you can expand the strategy display so that you can work on the strategy efficiently. So these two things, pan mode and the mini map, you can make use of that whenever your strategy is out of the screen. Now switching back to the select mode, or I just come down, select again. Then let us add a annotation here. I'll just right click, annotation. Annotations are not part of any functionality or any logic. These are like comments, right? In data transform, we give comment, which indicates what you are doing. The same thing you can do by using annotation, just to provide some information what this particular logic you are doing here, so that the other decisioning consultants, they can see and try to read what you have done. I can just say something like filtering offers for both working and non-working people, like this. Just a description of the logic that you are doing. It will not be part of the logic. It is just a description of the requirement that you are configuring here. You can just provide some information so that other people can understand what you have done, if it is a complex changes that you have done. Next, let us see the set property, which is also a basic one. So I'll just use enrichment, set property, add the set property. Set property is like your property set. Set property is like your property set, which is used to set custom values to the strategy results. By using set property, we can set the values to the strategy results. So what I will do, I will try to modify the, let us say I will modify the property name, property value for, let us say, credit card name. I'll just set it to some other value. And also let us say I will set the applicable city, default it to one particular city. I will set it as Hyderabad, for example. Then I will submit. Now whatever the properties that you set here, they will be reflected in the strategy results. Okay, so now I will give the name of this component as override property values. Okay, I'll just say override property values. Now save it and run. Let us say I just come here, save and run. Now check the results. As expected, I have 3 offers, which is basically employee, non-employee applicable to true. And when you scroll down, you can see the credit card name is now ABC credit card. And if you see the city also, city is Hyderabad. If you see the second one, that is also the same. It will also be the same. Applicable city is Hyderabad, and the You see the credit card name, right? Credit card name is ABC credit card. So all of them got overridden, right? All of them got overridden. You can see this is also credit card name is ABC credit card, applicable city is Hyderabad. So this is how you use a set property. By using a set property, simply you can just set the values if the property doesn't have any value, or if you want to override, you can override the existing value of a property. You can either set a new value or you can override the existing values. Now, one more thing is you can do the debugging for a strategy using this particular component here. That means what you do here is you can see the results of each and every component. Okay, within the strategy, remember that we can see the results for each and every component. So if you see here, when I select this particular component, you can see I have 4 results. And when I scroll down also, okay, the credit card name is empty, and you can also see the results, what to say, the applicable city is also, it will be same. Okay, it will be correct. Like you see I go to the second proposition, you can see the applicable city is coming as Chennai, which is not overridden. And if you just go to the filter and I'm clicking on the filter component, you can see now I have only 3 results. That means you can see the output of the strategy for each and every component also. Okay, you click on the component, you can see now 4 results are there. You click on the filter, you see I have only 3 results. And when you see down, you can see it is Hyderabad, and you can see the credit card name is empty still, because we are overriding in the set property component. Now you click on set property and see that the credit card is having the value. When I click here, there is no value. When I click on this, it is having the value. That means we can see the output at a component level also in a strategy. At each and every component, we can see what is the output the strategy is giving. So that is how you can see the details. But whatever is present in the results, that will be the final output. Whatever is in the results, that is the final output. Whenever you click on the component, it will give you that particular component's output. Okay, is it understood? Clear? Whatever we learned? Yeah. So I'm assuming it is clear for others also. Just some basic 2 components we have learned, that is the filter component and set property. Filter is used to filter the results based on a condition. Set property is used to set the property values or override the existing values. That is what it will do from within the strategy results. So just try to practice this very simple components, basic component. There are a lot more are there we did not see, but just practice this weekend. I will share you the assignment which contains the topics that we learned this week, so that you can practice it yourself. Okay, any other questions or any doubts? Is it clear till here, like creating application, understanding the rule sets, different types of access groups, the business structure, the context dictionary, and the propositions, importing propositions, properties, creating a basic strategy? Yeah, so this all should be clear for you now. Okay, so based on this only, I will be giving you the assignment. You can try to practice it whenever you are comfortable. Okay, then see you all. Happy weekend, and see you again on Monday. Bye then.